Hello everyone, I am Sarah of Smart Reiki and Tarot. Thank you so much for checking out this video. This video will basically be an update of what I was doing on my 2-week break from YouTube. I really got a little disillusioned with YouTube. YouTube is a business and it is run like a business where there's really no direction or support or help. It is really just each YouTube creator. I have a friend who also does YouTube, so we like to share notes and talk. But really, it comes down to yourself and your own understanding of the creation of YouTube videos. And trying to understand some of the legalese of YouTube, because YouTube is a business. And let's be honest, most YouTubers are doing YouTube as a business to make money, right? So I had to re-examine because I started out and really promoting myself as Sarah, the rainbow-hearted witch. And I've discussed on my own website that where that word witch comes from for me. Now, witch just means wise person. And you don't have to be Wicca or Wiccan or practice hoodoo or voodoo or be a pagan to practice witchcraft. Witchcraft is anything that you do with intention that you put out to create a desired outcome, right? So there's different types of magic. There's candle magic, where you light a candle and you pray. So when Catholics light candles and pray, that is a form of candle magic. There's also burning of incense. Again, you see with the burning of incense in Catholicism. Catholicism has their roots in many pagan religions and different faiths. For instance, the rosary is actually taken from the Hindu use of the 108 beads of the mala. Now, the mala is used to state a mantra or a prayer or to help focus on meditation to quiet the monkey mind. 108 is important within the Hindu religion. I looked it up. Let me pull that up. So it goes back to the ancient Vedic culture, and they believe that there are 108 energy lines converging to the heart chakra. There's like 108 sacred sites in the body. There's 108 of their sacred Vedic texts. So 108 for the Hindu religion is very important. So the malas go back a long time. It's very old, to around the 8th century BC. The Catholics came along and created their rosary, which doesn't have as many beads. And the rosary is to pray, usually, to the Virgin Mary, to Mother Mary. Now, I have a mala because I definitely went through my interest of Hinduism. I studied the goddess in India and beyond. And you can see in Vedic culture and in Hinduism that even though in Hinduism that culture celebrates the goddess, women or oppressed and abused, just as they would be in a patriarchal religion such as Christianity. Now, with when I pray the mala, I usually do the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. I just really love Padme. She's a beautiful goddess within the Hindu religion, and she is just such a gentle soul. And I really like in Hinduism how all the different faces of the goddess. You have someone like Padme, who is, embraces that feminine energy and everything that in the West we consider feminine. But then you have Kali. And Kali is the goddess of destruction. And Kali is fierce. She's the warrior spirit. So I'm drawn to Kali as well. And then you have Catholicism, which does recognize the feminine within spirituality through the Virgin Mary. But within Catholicism, there's only one way to be feminine, and that is by being a mother, which isn't really in my sphere, right? I'm not a mother. But there's comfort in going back to your roots. So I have started praying the rosary again, but I don't focus on the mysteries. I won't do the mysteries, and I'm not going to do the Apostles' Creed where I state that I believe in the Catholic Church. Even though I was forced to confirm my faith in the Catholic Church, I don't consider myself a Catholic. It's just not something I'm comfortable with. But praying the rosary and just saying the Hail Marys and then my own prayers and making it my own has really brought me a lot of comfort and joy and peace, especially while I'm going through my dark night of the soul, and really hit when I decided to take a break from YouTube. So that's why I have this shirt on today to represent me going through my dark night of the soul. As you can see, I have bleached my hair. I did it myself. I was pretty scared. I've never bleached my hair before, and blonde, I don't think it looks good on me. I have no intention of really keeping it like this. I just thought it would be fun. I've never been a blonde before. I mean, as you can see, the back is I'm still a brunette. I'm really just did it because I'm going to be dyeing my hair green soon, which I'm really excited. And I really wanted the green to pop. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let me bleach my hair. And that way, when I do the green, it will just pop and it will stand out. So I haven't touched tarot in the time that I've taken off. I really feel that I need to step away. And I think that when you have religious practices or spiritual practices, whether it be witchcraft or Christianity or anything, any time that you are trying to walk your path and live your truth, sometimes tools that worked for you in the past don't work for you any longer. And sometimes you go back to your roots. So that's what I'm doing. And I prefer the side with the Virgin Mary on it rather than the crucifix. Oh, this one actually has just the Virgin Mary and then the crucifix down here. So that's good. I have issues with the crucifix. I think that why as a Catholic would you want a figure who's being tortured as your symbol? I think it's kind of sick. It's kind of disturbing. I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. But to each their own. To each their own. So that's how my religious practice, my spiritual practice is going. I will probably start using tarot again soon. I don't know in what capacity. I'm still doing, if someone wants a tarot reading, I will still give them a tarot reading. It's just that for me personally, doing tarot readings for myself every day, I really got burnt out. So I'm trying to go out and do like a morning meditation and grounding and centering, and then praying the rosary and doing a little candle gazing, because candle gazing is a really great way to strengthen your psychic abilities and open your third eye. And it's also just very rejuvenating. It's very nice to connect with the element of fire. So that's kind of how my spiritual practice has evolved. I've been reading a lot, like a lot. So I went to the library and I picked up The Mermaid of Black Conch by, let's see, Monique, what's her name? Rofi. And that was a interesting book about a mermaid. And this mermaid is actually, it's from the folktales, from a folktale of the Caribbean. And it was a short little quick read, and I gave it a 3-star rating on Goodreads. There were parts of it I liked, and then parts that I took issue with. I'll read what I wrote on Goodreads. This was a 3.5-star read for me. The story was short and slightly poetic. The story was interesting and kept me intrigued. However, when I'm only 7 pages from the ending, but can put the book down because I am hungry, then I know it's not a page turner. The book, for the most part, was a quiet book. Not much happened. A fisherman fell in love with a cursed mermaid, and it's their love story. But it's also about life on an island, race relations, relationships between men and women, commentary on slavery, and its long-standing effects. So this woman, she was a native and one of the first people on this island in the Caribbean. And she was very, very beautiful. And all her sisters got swept out to sea, and she was left, and she just wanted to dance and live at home, and her father wasn't in a hurry to marry her off. So she would dance, and the men in the village would go watch her dance, and they would lust after her. And all the women became jealous. So the women went to their goddess, and they put a curse on this woman and cursed her to be a mermaid forever. So there are no other mermaids in the ocean, in the sea around where she lives. And ironically enough, they also curse an older woman, and the older woman is cursed to be a turtle. So she spends all of eternity with this turtle and herself and alone until she comes across this fisherman who falls in love. And it's their love story, and it's interesting. It's a different take on being a mermaid. I really like the myths of mermaids, so it was interesting to hear a myth from a different cultural perspective. And to this culture, being a mermaid, being turned into a mermaid would definitely be a curse. So it was just a different perspective, and it talks about colonialism and all of those race relations and those issues. And these men from Florida come down and they capture the mermaid. And what happens after that. So if you just want a quick little read, it's poetic and quiet. Like I said, not much happens. It's a good book. It wasn't the best book I've read this year, but it wasn't the worst. I also got from the library The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. And this quickly became my favorite book of the year. It was so quaint, and I really loved Micah Moon. She gets offered a job. She is a real witch, and in this universe, in her universe, you are not allowed to speak about being a witch. The witches can't be in the same space. They can't live together. Witches are orphaned. Usually they're born to other witches, and then there's a curse that was put on them, and once a witch is born, they become orphaned fairly quickly after. So Micah Moon has a very lonely existence, very sad. No family, really no friends. She moves around about every 6 months. She doesn't want anyone to find out her secret. In the beginning, we find out that the woman who took her in is the head of the very secret society of witches, is what Micah refers to it, where they meet once every 3 months and they share spells and what's going on and gossip. So that's about the only real interaction she has constantly, is with this group of witches every 3 months, until she gets a mysterious job offer to go work at Nevermore Manor. And it's just so charming and it's so sweet. And even though the witches in this book are cursed to loneliness, I just really love the story and I love the writing, and I just loved everything about the House of Nevermore. It was beautiful. So I highly recommend that book. That book was a 5-star reading for me. And this is what I wrote on This is what I wrote on Goodreads. This was a sweet, magical book that has stolen my heart. This book made me laugh and cry, and I love a good laugh and cry. This was a sweet story about a lonely woman trying to find her place in the world as an outsider. I love the cast of characters, and I especially love Nowhere House. Sorry, did I call it Nevermore? We watched Wednesday, so I'm getting my stories confused. But anyway, it's called Nowhere House. I love the plot twists and, of course, the ending. There was only one cheesy romance scene that I skipped, and luckily it was only a few pages. I don't really like romance novels, but I loved the magical elements of the story. The romance actually added something to the plot, so I didn't hate it. And by it, I mean the romance plot. I have a few more books to read by the end of the year, but I really don't see any of them making me as happy as this book. This was the perfect cozy book to read while being all cozy on my couch. So if you want a cozy read, I definitely recommend this very secret society of irregular witches. I also read a romance novel, which, why would I do that to myself? I don't really like romance. It's called The Dead Romantics, and this is by Ashley Poston. And it's about a woman who is a ghostwriter for a famous author. She writes romance in the book. And the reason I read this is because the protagonist, Florence Day, can see ghosts. And she left her small little hometown in the South to run away from the fact that she was known as the weird girl who spoke to ghosts. She helped the detectives of her town solve a mystery, the murder of one of her classmates. So she flees town so that she's not associated. She loves living in New York City, where she can just hide, and she pretends not to see the ghosts. So it's about her going back home because her father passes away, and it's about her trying to rekindle her relationship with her sister, especially because her sister was really upset that she ran away and she didn't come back. She refused to go home for 10 years. So it's her going home. She has to go home. She can't run anymore. You know, she has to help out with her father's funeral. And her family runs at the funeral home. So it was a little too quirky for me. It was a little too characters trying to do too much. Like the way Florence speaks and the whole story, it didn't work for me. It has a 4.07 rating on Goodreads, so people love it. My Goodreads says dead romance and bad puns. This book did make me laugh and cry, but the protagonist, Florence, was unlikable. There was a lot of repetition of thoughts. I wanted to love this book, but I have too many critical notes. The way Florence talks is annoying. Florence reads like a 19-year-old, not a 28-year-old. The romance didn't work for me either. I love a good ghost story, but this one wasn't for me. It felt too contrived. The ghost story was, to say the least. So it was a little too romance heavy for me. I am not a fan of romance. The next book I read, total page turner, also up there with probably favorite books of the year. It's called The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Oh my gosh, I pretty much read this book in one night. Like, I stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning. I was having flashbacks to college or even high school when I would stay up all night reading a book. I couldn't quite read the whole book in one night, so I finished it the next day. Oh my goodness, it was so amazing. It has a 4.37 rating on Goodreads. I gave it 5 stars. Total page turner. I could not stop reading this book. So I thought I had already read my favorite book of 2022, but then I read this book. The first 20% of the book was a little slow, but then the pacing picked up and I could not put the book down. I haven't stayed up all night reading a book since college, and I stayed up until 5:45 a.m. to keep reading. I almost read the book in one whole sitting. I love how little mysteries were withheld until almost the end, like what Millie went to jail for. I enjoyed reading 2 separate point of views and how this book flowed. I haven't been this entertained by a book in a long time. I loved the psychological thriller, the mystery, the romance, all of it. So there is a little bit of romance in it. Millie is the protagonist at the beginning of the book, and we find that she has just been released from jail. Her family has written her off. Her family has nothing to do with her. Her mother has given up with her on her. She loses her job. She's told, they won't file a police report, but she's living out of her car, and that would violate probation. So she finds this job. This rich family is looking for a maid, a live-in maid. And it seems almost too good to be true. And so it's about her working for this, and I can't tell you anymore or else it will give away the story. It was excellent. Okay, I won't tell you who the second point of view is because you don't really know that or learn that until you have to get through the book, right? All right, and then recently I just read Just Like Mother by Anne Hetzel, and that was another psychological thriller. I read that one fairly quickly as well. However, I only gave it 2 stars. I was debating on the rating. I read it fairly quickly. But the story for me was really predictable, and the protagonist was a little silly. But you know what? In real life, we are a little silly, right? We don't listen to our gut instincts. We don't listen to our intuition. We brush things off, especially when we have expectations. So this is another girl, Millie, she was born into a collective of women. I think it was called the Collective of Women, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, it was a cult in the middle of nowhere in Vermont. And it's about her and her sisters and her mothers. Every woman there is called Mother. And so it kind of flashes to the past of her growing up in this cult and then her escape, which I was more interested in that rather than the present day. The present day story really frustrated me because it was so obvious and I knew how it was going to end and I knew what was going to happen. It was clear as day to the reader, or at least to me, and so it wasn't shocking enough. And if I'm going to read a thriller, I want to be surprised. So with The Housemaid, I was surprised. I did not really see that coming because everything wasn't spoon-fed you. Like, a lot of information was withheld, so you couldn't really necessarily put it together. I mean, I know that some people did, but I didn't. So, I mean, I thought that was cool. Right now, I am reading Belladonna by Adeline Grace, and yesterday sat down to start reading this. I read 100 pages in one sitting. Excellent, excellent book. I really, really enjoyed this book. So we'll see. It's 400 pages long, how I rate it. The next book, this one is also from the library, Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. This will be up next. And then White Horse by Erica T. Worth. So I'm looking forward to reading these, and I'm also reading a couple books on Kindle. I'm reading, now this book I've been reading for a few days now. It's called The Christmas Project. It's romance. I think I bought it because I read that Dash and Lily book. And I wanted another cute Christmas book to read, and I've been trying to read this book since I read Dash and Lily. And I'm only at 42%, and I literally just read it so I can go to sleep because it's really boring. It's very repetitive. It's by Maxine I don't know. Anyway, the protagonist, Katie, is a home organizer, and her best friend begs her to help her brother organize his home. And it's just so repetitive, and I am not into home organizing shows or anything like that, so I don't even know why I thought. It also takes place in London, so they refer to, Katie and her coworker refer to their calendar as diaries. It just drives me crazy, anyway. It's not my type of book. I am also reading The Witch's Guide to Ghost Hunting by, it looks like Charisse O. Williams. I've just really started the intro, trying to add some nonfiction back into my reading list. It has really good ratings, so I'm kind of interested to see, how this author goes about paranormal research. So, like I mentioned earlier, we watched Wednesday on Netflix, which I enjoyed the show. It was really cool that it is supposed to take place in Jericho, Vermont. It's a real place. It's right outside of Burlington, Vermont, and they talk about Burlington. And it was we watched that fairly quickly. I enjoyed Wednesday, her character and the story. It was more of a mystery and about the school, and so it was just fun. I know that it was filmed in Europe somewhere, I think, but whatever. And then we've been watching season 2 of The Morning Show, and season 2 of The Morning Show is not nearly as good as season 1. Season 1, I was hooked from the first episode. We watched it fairly quickly. Season 2, it took till, I think, episode 6 for me to get into it. And we have 2 episodes left, 9 and 10. And I have to say, Alex drives me crazy. If you have any questions about what a narcissist is and how they act and how they treat people, just watch the morning show and watch Alex. She is literally the worst. I can't stand her. She has very few redeemable qualities. She should have stayed retired and just wrote her book. I don't know what possessed her to think to go back to the morning show. Why she thought she was mentally stable enough to do that. She's cried through the whole series. That's all she does. She's had so many mental breakdowns. She needs to just stop and just go away. Because no. Mitch Kessler, he had remorse. He left the country. He went to Italy. Like, he felt bad. He didn't want to drag Hannah's name. Like, he realized the error of his ways. And Alex, who supposedly loved him, abandoned him. Everybody abandoned him. Alex, it's just all about how she's perceived. She has an emotional breakdown and he's there for her. He has an emotional breakdown and she walks away. She can't do it. He asks her to help him be a better man, help him understand and do better, and she's flat out says, no, I can't. The only thing she cares about is her reputation and how she's viewed. She says horrible things to her coworkers and then gaslights them and says, oh, I never said that. I never said that. I didn't do that. She does horrible things and tells people, no, I didn't do that. No. Oh, I'm going to sue you for libel. Okay, anyway. It's a great case study in narcissism. Great. And it just shows how narcissistic workplaces are and how soulless and how to get ahead, especially in industries like that, you really are expected to be soulless and heartless and narcissistic. So even if someone doesn't start out that way, they become that way, which it's pretty sad. And I hope that does not happen to Bradley, because Bradley has so much heart and integrity and really cares about people. So I really, really, really hope that does not happen to Bradley. I got Tubebuddy and have been looking at my stats for my YouTube videos. And I then also did my channel review. I paid I think it's like $18 or $19 for a channel review. Now, I thought that it was electronic, kind of like what Tubebuddy is, where they just run the stats and tell you how your video is doing. And then they have somebody actually review your videos and channels and give you suggestions. But apparently that costs more. So I did not realize that. So my score is a 72 out of 100. And I got all these warnings on my videos. And I flipped out. I kind of had a little breakdown myself. So basically, because I link websites and other people's information in my videos, the robot, the system, the AI, assumed that I had affiliate links in my videos, which I don't. So it's like you need to mark that little box stating in YouTube Studio that you have affiliate links. So I kind of freaked out and I was like, I don't have any affiliate links. I don't get paid. So I reached out to, there was an email and I asked and they said, they explained it to me that that's why. It doesn't mean that I do have affiliate links. It's just like, check that, like, do you? Now, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and creator content, and I big makeup artists and makeup YouTubers and even people with actual paid promotion in their middle of their videos are not marking that little box saying that it has like paid promotion. Let me pull it up what it exactly it says. So I spent some time a little angry, a little pissed. And I get why YouTubers aren't marking that box, because it doesn't, if you mark that box on your video, then you you don't get your public hours, and so you have to, meet the threshold of monetization. So YouTube will start paying you of 1,000 subscribers and like a crazy stupid amount of watch time hours, public watch time hours. So if you go into your, YouTube studio, there's this little thing. It says paid promotion. My video contains paid promotion, like product placement, sponsorship, or endorsement. So when I watch these YouTubers and they actually have paid promotion when they say it's an ad and they don't mark that and it doesn't say paid promotion, oh my gosh, I saw that like literally in a video right after I got this. Livid, right? And then all these people who have affiliate links and it's not marked. So I guess if you have an affiliate link, you're supposed to mark that box and then in parentheses say affiliate link. So that video won't count towards your public hour watch time for monetization. Now, if you're a huge YouTuber, what does it matter? Like, you've already hit your threshold, right? And then it was like, okay, is Buy Me a Coffee an affiliate link? So I was looking on boards. Now, I don't see how it's an affiliate link for me. I don't do the referral. I don't refer people to buy me a coffee other than, hey, do you want to buy me a coffee? So the legalese, like, I want to try to follow the rules and do the right thing, but I'm not an attorney. I don't know about entertainment law. I was just like, I'm done. Like, I see all these big YouTubers, they're not marking that. They're not stating it. I do see that they'll put an affiliate, they'll say these are affiliate links. They half-ass it, but then they don't, or they say, this content was brought to you by blah, 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 blah. So that pissed me off. Hey, listen, spiritual people, we are allowed to get pissed off, and we're allowed to curse, and we're allowed to have our own little breakdowns. We're not perfect. Spiritual people are not perfect, and I'm also going through that. One of our neighbors, we had become friends with. I left my plants with the neighbors while we were on our road trip, and very, very nice, lovely people. I knew they were Christian, but I figured they were open-minded. So when I was doing the videos about our trip, I know they wanted to know more, so I gave her my business card against my better judgment, where it says witch. So that's why I'm having to also reevaluate that word. I've scared her off. It hurt my feelings. I've taken it personally. We live in a small community full of Mormons, Mennonites, Southern Baptists, and other, Catholics, whatever. I don't care what your beliefs are. They're your beliefs. Do I have my own wounds around Christianity? Yes. But like I stated at the beginning of the video, I understand that all religions and this is gonna trigger some people because it used to trigger me. It triggered me when I had this conversation with a friend back in 7th grade. That our religions are cults, okay? So that book, Just Like Mother, I swear the author must have watched Midsommar. I've never actually watched that movie, but I know what it's about. I kind of want to watch it now. All cults end up murderous and murdering people in the name, to protect their cult or, whatever. Protect their beliefs. Christianity definitely did that. I don't know if Buddhism has, maybe I don't know enough. Hinduism, yeah, sure. All religions are cults and become murderous or will murder in the name of their god or gods. And we're seeing the cult of personality with people like Trump and just any religious or figure or famous person. Sports has become like a religion. People will fight over sports. It's all silly. And so, I'm trying to rectify, okay, Jesus, the historical and religious figure, is separate from the religion that has used this figure for their advantage and to take advantage of people and have done horrendous things in his name, which is disgusting. But I could still work with Jesus' energy and not tap into the church's energy. So that's what I'm trying to rectify is, when it comes to spirituality, and even especially witches and witchcraft, the witch is the outcast. The witch is the person who doesn't follow the crowd. Witches are the Wednesday Addams of society, Not the fact that they're antisocial or sociopaths or... No, I'm not saying that. It's just that they don't follow anybody else. They follow their heart. They follow their inner guidance. And they don't get caught up in what you're told to do. Religion and spirituality, even in the New Age community and even in witchcraft, holds so many narcissists. But within religion, you are taught to be codependent. You're taught to withstand abuses. You're taught to almost be kind of narcissistic, that you're perfect and your way is the only way and all these horrible things. So why I bring this up is because you see this mentality, the way people act on social media. I took a break from social media as well. I uninstalled Instagram off my phone. So I would log in occasionally. I think I logged in a couple times to Instagram, and I was on there yesterday, I think, and I posted. But I've removed the app from the phone, and I don't miss Instagram. I don't miss social media at all. I was thinking about opening a business page on Facebook for my business. I was looking forward to being able to be out and giving tarot readings and out of the broom closet, so to speak, and just being myself. However, living here, I feel like I can't. And it's sad. I have made a friend who is a neighbor who is very open-minded and was excited when she saw that I did Reiki and Tarot, so she wanted to, be friends. And I'm excited that she's excited, and she, is starting to feel more confident, because she was really feeling very restricted and very oppressed with the way that people are. But I've been working through, like I said, my own rage at YouTube, my own rage at closed-mindedness, and trying to be true to myself, but not scare anybody. I don't want to scare anybody. I want to be able to reach as many people and help as many people. But it's just sad that persecution of people who are different is still happening today. My ancestor, Susanna North Martin, she was not persecuted because she was a real witch. She was persecuted out of ignorance and fear of women, right? She was a widow. The government, the town wanted her land. They wanted to put a road through her property. She didn't want to sell it to them. It was just easier for them to have these little girls pretend to be possessed by the devil and accuse her of witchcraft. It's easier to have scapegoats, and especially scapegoat people who are different. And who don't follow the mass psychosis or fear or outrage or whatever, It's better to just blend in, keep your head down, keep your mouth quiet, stay out of the shadows. And that's where, really the occult comes from, right? Like keeping it secret, like put on your outside face, right? It's so sad, like how sick our society is and how sick it has been, and how nothing's really changed. Nothing's really changed. A few people maybe have changed. The way we live our life has changed. Maybe our culture and the foods we eat, or the way we eat, has changed. But nothing's really changed. It's sad. I don't know if this helps anybody, but if you're starting a YouTube channel, know that it's not so easy. There's a lot of legal shit that even you big YouTubers don't necessarily know, even people with teams, or they're just trying to work the system. I don't know what it is. It's not up to me. I can't worry about other people. Like I said, I like to try to do things the right way, but I'm not going to pay an entertainment lawyer when I'm not making money off of this. It's a hobby and it's for fun. So when they say product placement, it's like, okay, so when I buy my own tarot deck or my own book or get it from the library and I show it, am I supposed to be marking that box? So really is the only thing you're supposed to be doing on YouTube is talking? And then how about all these people who show like movie clips or photographs of famous people that they didn't take? How are they getting around that? And I know on Instagram, everyone's all up in arms about AI art. Well, we do that to try to, I do that on my videos to try to get around copyright infringement, right? So it's just a lot. It's overwhelming. It's frustrating. And YouTube, it becomes like anything else. It's a business. And Tubebuddy will tell you what tags to use and like how to use tags. So like Your titles of your videos can't be too long. They can't be too short. They need to have a tag in the video. You need to have a tag in the description. You need to have tags where it says tags. Don't repeat any tags, because if you repeat tags in the 3 spots, then YouTube might take your channel down. And there's all these things that if you're just starting out, or you're just doing this on your own or just for fun, it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know this shit? So it's totally different, and each platform is different. You know, the way that you do things on Instagram is different than the way you do things on YouTube, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I don't know how people get around shit, and yeah. So like my snapshot, it says that a lot of them, I don't contain tags in every name description. You're also supposed to do tags not just with one word, but like in a natural sentence. I don't know what the fuck that means. You need to add your videos to a playlist. You need to have at least 10 tags in your video. In your description, you need to repeat your title, but don't repeat your tag. Don't forget to request subscribers, likes, all that bullshit that I fucking hate doing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I think it's so annoying when I'm watching a video to hear that shit, but yeah, that's why we're doing it. Okay, so yeah, the analytics really, 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 really pissed me off. Really pissed me off. And then also seeing the other channels that don't even do any of that shit, and they have like thousands of subscribers and thousands of views, and it's like, well, why the fuck did I just pay? Like, obviously I'm doing something wrong. I don't really, whatever. I wash my hands. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna upload videos when I upload videos, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just keep doing it because it was fun at some point. I don't know. So I will end this on a happy note. Cindy Rhodes, the artist Cindy Rhodes, sent me some of her prints as a thank you. And I'm so excited for her. She's going to have her website even more. She's going to sell more of her awesome products. She writes stories. She illustrates those stories. She has block print journals. Like, she has the doll that I bought, you know, that she found, and she painted up to look like an alien. Like, she's gonna start selling all of that, not just her. Right now, it's just colored pencils and her conversations, or I think it's her Telephone to God series. Yeah, I think it's Telephone to God. But she's gonna put more stuff on. So she sent me these pretty prints. So here's the back. And then her Krampus prints. So on the back it says, "Who loves Krampus? Everyone does. This Yuletide visitor enacts punishment on the bad kids and actually represents the self-condemnation that abides in all moral-thinking human beings. We feel the need to hand down judgment on wrongdoing, especially at Yule. This original design by Cindy Rhodes is hand-painted and hand-pressed by this Roswell-based artist on professional printmaking paper. Giving it a timeless appeal, Rhodes creates her block prints by first creating her original design, carving it into, is it linoleum? Mounted on a 1-inch block. So she just talks about it, and then you can see her work at cindy.rhodes@yahoo.com is how you can reach her, and then cindyrhodes.com. So there's that one Krampus, and then another, and then she gave me some of her, like a cool print. And then I love this one. We landed in Roswell, I believe. So check out Cindy Rhodes. Thank you, Cindy. And Cindy's been amazing. We've had some really great conversations, and I know she wants to come back and have some more conversations live, just about her own experiences and just to talk. And I think going forward, I'll still probably do some tarot stuff, and because I still love the artwork of tarot. Tarot is beautiful, and it's a great tool. And just because I'm not feeling that tool right now doesn't mean, sometimes you just have to put something down. Like I put the rosary down for a long time, and now I'm back and I'm using it and making it my own. It's important to take breaks, and it's important to reground and recenter yourself when you feel you need to. So this 2-week break was really necessary for me. I'm still today getting in the groove. I did an interview with Lee from Old Bisbee Ghost Tour, and he's wonderful. And that interview was a lot of fun. I felt a little rusty, and I could see it, but hopefully you all enjoy that when that goes up. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say, you guys. This is the look. I don't think I'm gonna film about Asheville, even though Asheville was my favorite place. That was my favorite stop on our trip. I don't think I'm gonna film about Asheville, and I don't think I'm gonna film about New England. I may do a film about travel tips. I don't know, maybe not. Just know that when we did travel, it wasn't all hunky-dory. It wasn't all great. Things never go as plans. Nothing can be easy, and you gotta go with the flow. It's just like life, right? All right, guys. Thanks. I know this was like a super long chit chat, catch up, what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'll see y'all around next time. Bye, guys.